No one would have missed this for the world. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you know what? Ask yourself and ask me, can you really be that surprised? I'm hoping, but it very much looks like we are witnessing the beginning of an unraveling and a bottling of Arsenal Football Club. Let me say that again. We look like we are witnessing the unraveling and the bottling of Arsenal Football Club. I might as well say that again because you can say that season after season after season. I might be getting ahead of myself, but right now, in this moment in time, what I am seeing is Arsenal fans upset, is Arsenal in dismay, and Arteta frazzled. And you know what? That brings me the utmost amount of joy because they do not play football the right way. There's nothing likable about them. There's nothing commendable about them apart from probably being one of the better defensive teams. But that's usually what happens when you recruit 9 centre-halves and make sure that everyone from the 6 to the goalkeeper is 6 foot plus and you're spending over $1 billion over the course of 6 years. I think what we're seeing is endgame Arsenal, to be honest with you. And that's unfortunate for them. But if City are going to be flawless for the rest of the season when they haven't got really anything else to play for, Arsenal could be in a little bit of trouble because this isn't an aberration. This isn't a flash in the pan. They've been playing poorly since January. Even when they've been getting results, even when they've been collecting points, they've been scraping wins, with the marginal football, the set pieces and the corners and long throws and everything wrong with football today, which epitomises Arteta's Arsenal and their fan base. This has been coming. And they've had a couple of injuries now as well. Saka's a bit injured. Declan Rice has been a bit iffy. And all of a sudden, you look at their lineup. I look at their lineup. You know what? I've started off criticising Arteta, but I'm going to look at the team. If you go through their squad and you go through their starting 11s, it kind of looks quite meaty. Very uninspiring in different positions. They don't look like... Honestly, if they win the title, it'll be the worst... I think it'll be the worst attackers group that I've seen win a title in my lifetime. Think about that statement. Think about it really. If they win the title, it will be the worst collection of attackers that I've seen win the Premier League. Because even when Leicester won it, Vardy, Mahrez, I'd go as far as to say both of them could start for Arsenal. So, think about that statement. Go through the Premier League winners of the last 10, 15 years and think about, have you ever seen a worse attacking group? And that shows you the standard and level of the Premier League outside of them. They might actually end up title winners. And also talks to, probably testament to how good defensively they are, I guess. But what an eyesore football team. And you look at, when you watch games at the Emirates now, you can hear a pin drop. Them fans aren't going to the stadium and enjoying football. There's not a chance they're enjoying what they're watching. That manager and the way they play and their players have absolutely sucked the life out of their fans. And when you've basically been title escorts season after season after season, you're not winning trophies, you're not winning silverware. Can you blame the players and the club and the fans for getting a little bit tetchy, getting a bit nervy? Kind of their stomach falling out of their arse a little bit. It's not a surprise. And I have no idea where they go from here if they end up bottling the Premier League and the Champions League. And honestly, I'm so upset at Kabasi for Barcelona, right? For getting sent off and spotting Atletico Madrid 2 goals. Because I believe... And Sporting Lisbon kind of bottled the open leg as well because they were a better footballing side that just end up getting sucker punched at the end and losing 1-0. So I don't think they'll be going through. Even though when you watch Sporting Lisbon and Arsenal won the game, but Sporting were a better side and played better football, which has been the case for any decent team that's played Arsenal in the last few months. They have not been a good team, and they've not played well, and they've not played good football for 3 months now. And because City have had issues of their own, the rest of the league have been poor. They're getting away with it. But if they bottle it from here, trust me, I will be there, and I will be there first. Not like today. I'll be there first, and I'll be there the day after you bottle it, the day after I would have been there when you've bottled it. I'll be there again, and I will make your summer post-May. I will make your life a living hell, Arsenal fans, because it will bring me the utmost joy. And I can't believe I'm saying that for what would be another City title, but it doesn't really count. You know what I said would be the perfect scenario? Arsenal bottle the title, get knocked out of the Champions League, trophyless again, City win the title, it gets stripped off them for being the cheats that they are. So then you have that situation of they don't get the title, City, but then Arsenal kind of do, but it's caveated and it's asterisked, and I think that would do me. Kill two birds with one stone. But I was watching the first 65, 70 minutes of the game. Obviously, I had a paddock match, and I'm looking at Bournemouth and Iriola. Hats off. Hats off today. Iriola, what a manager you are, by the way. Luis Enrique light. It's all about platforming players, being brave, courageous, attacking, full throttle. And it looks like a team where players express themselves and enjoy themselves. And I can get behind that. I'm interested to see how Iriola does with better players at a bigger club, actually. Because they look like the better attacking team, the more fluid team, the whole game. You just got the likes of Gyökeres, dead food, penalty. Can't believe he's got 18 goals all comp. One of the worst strikers I've seen play for a big club in a long time in general play. Madueke, I switched the game on. The first thing I see him do is run a ball out of play. That seems to be his specialty. Got Martinelli on the other side. Martinelli, by the way. Dribbles looking down at his toes like, honest to God, his neck must be so stiff after games, Martinelli. Spends the whole game doing that. King, don't lift his head up, that kid. Zubamendi gets eaten alive far too often for being a marquee midfield signing. Don't have the physicality. Can only pass backwards. Porous. Honest to God, Ben White, he's finished. He's come back physically finished. Miles Lewis Skelly, is he a left back? Is he a centre mid? What is he? Can't defend. Honest to God, the team's mediocre. So should I be surprised that they're dropping points and looking flaky? And then you've got the conservatism, but obviously it's a team that has been built in Arteta's image. So I'm kind of fighting between two opinions, thinking, are Arsenal overachieving because obviously objectively Arteta's a good coach and he's an elite coach, because their personnel group isn't exactly that much better than probably the Liverpool likes of Liverpool and obviously definitely Man City, even the likes of Chelsea, even us, Villa. Honestly, you go through their team and you're thinking, you just say meh quite a lot, and then their sole world class player or attacker that you'd talk about or people would mention is Bukayo Saka, who has not been anywhere near that level for about 12 to 18 months now. He's come back from a grade 3 hamstring injury and looks a shell of himself. And he's not that guy anymore. Will he get back there? Who knows? But honestly, Sporting Lisbon have frustrated me because they could have easily won that opening fixture 2-0. They end up getting sucker punched at the end and a 1-0 down going to Emirates, so it looks like they're out. And then obviously Barcelona bottling that first leg with Kabasi getting sent off. Sporting Atletico 2-0, because I think Atletico is much more suited to this Arteta's Arsenal over 2 legs than Barcelona would be, because Arteta and Arsenal look like a team that if they go up against anyone that actually tries to play football and attacks them and doesn't really respect them defensively and doesn't sit behind the ball, they look spooky because they don't know how to counter-attack, they can't transition fast enough, and their build-up has gone to shit as well. All you need is a good press and you need a good attacking personnel group to threaten them. the two centre-halves as well, which are probably the best part of their team, Saliba, Gabriel, with the keeper. And that's why I think Barcelona would have been a nightmare matchup for Arsenal. And I've been quite convinced that over 2 legs, Barcelona would have been too much for Arsenal. With their high line and how susceptible Barcelona are defensively and probably to set pieces, I think how much they squeeze the pitch and how relentless their press is, I don't think they have the personnel group to cope with it in the build-up. Arsenal, they don't counter-attack very quick anyway. And then when they do, the likes of Martinelli and Madueke don't have the requisite quality. Neither does Gyökeres. And usually they'd go for... and then if they play like a Saka and a Trossard, they don't have the pace to kind of kill them in behind anyway. I think that would have been a favourable matchup for Barca, especially in current form. And I would have liked to have seen a potential massacre. Atletico will turn up, give Arsenal too much respect. And I think when teams turn up against Arsenal, respect them a little bit too much, but they don't deserve, by the way, because they aren't good enough in open play, and sit behind the ball, that's when they kind of surrender territory. You end up getting... they can box you in, and then obviously end up getting their corners, their set pieces, their crosses, and then that's when they end up scoring goals and getting jammy, and then obviously going 1-0 down to Arsenal, how compact they are defensively, how good they are defensively usually, and then they get behind the ball, especially under this manager, that's when you're asking for trouble. Teams need to do and take the blueprint of what Bournemouth did today, which is don't respect them, go out and attack, be brave. Their lineup was so offensive. El Kroupi and Evan Olsen up front, 4-4-2 tackle. Ryan, right wing. They started with 3 strikers, more or less. Double pivot of Ryan Christie and Alex Scott. Alex Scott's an attacking 8 who scored his goal today. What a player he is, by the way. The midfield market is looking healthy. They went for it at the Emirates and they got their rewards. And honestly, it could have been 2-0 easily, 2-3-0. A lucky jammy penalty that they obviously got from a set piece, as they usually do. And all of a sudden the game was even Stevens. And then Bournemouth thought, you know what, let's go win this game again properly. These are dead food. Is the bottling started already? Has it only just begun? If Sporting turn this around somehow, wow, that would be unexpected, but that would be crazy. But listen, the only thing is, I'm not quite sure that City will be flawless enough to capitalise. I think they've spotted them too many points, but who knows? Never say never. And if there's one team that has the culture and has the history of bottling, it's Arsenal Football Club. 6 years without a trophy. Rubbish football. Unlikable players, unlikable manager. It would be so sweet. I saw something today. I think they created 0. Let me get this up, because I couldn't believe it when I seen it. I actually quote tweeted it from that Lies Bizidi saying, they created, by the way, this is not a typo, Arsenal created 0.05 XG from open play today. Catastrophic. And that is against a team that wasn't sat back. That's a team that pressed, was open, and attacked at will. Spooky. As I said before, Arsenal, I dare you. I double dare you to go trophyless again. I dare you to bottle the league title. I dare you to go out of the Champions League. Because there will not be a single failure from Arsenal that I will not be there for. I'm watching. I'm the Grim Reaper. Who knows? I might have already seen it. I might have already foreseen this bottle. And I'm struggling to contain my excitement. Carry on giving me a little bit more encouragement. Carry on. Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. Well deserved. Better team won today. And I think they're starting to crumble.